Poppaea Sabina was the second wife of Nero. She was an ambitious woman who, like Nero's mother, was smart, cunning, and beautiful. Poppaea was a status seeker and wanted to become empress of the empire. She came from an aristocratic family. Her father was a wealthy Roman citizen, and her mother, Poppaea the Elder, was the daughter of a Roman senator, Gaius Poppaeus. Like her daughter, she was considered to be a beautiful woman whose looks only were bested by her daughter. She committed suicide in 47 AD after she got involved in Claudius's wife, Empress Messalina's scheme to gain possession of the gardens of Lucullus, which was owned by Roman senator Asiaticus, who was one of the wealthiest men in Rome. Messalina wanted the gardens for herself and realized Asiaticus wasn't going to sell them, so she devised a plan to get them. After overhearing gossip about Poppaea the Elder being Asiaticus's lover, she told her cousin Claudius, and brought charges of adultery and treason against him. He was tried in Claudius's chambers and was given the option to kill himself so his family could save face. Poppaea the Elder then was hounded into committing suicide herself by Messalina's goons. At the age of 14, Poppaea married an imperial knight, Rufius Crispinus, in 44 AD, who was the head of the Praetorian Guard for Claudius. The two had a child named Rufius. In 51 AD, he was removed by Agrippina the Younger, the new bride of the emperor, because of his loyalty to the memory of Messalina, the third wife of Claudius, who died in 48 AD, even though it's been 3 years since the Senate ordered her name and memory to be erased from the public. Years later, after Rufius and Poppaea divorced, he became senator and was later executed by Nero in 66 AD after banishing him to the end of the world the year prior. Poppaea would later marry Otho, Nero's best friend, despite being 70 years younger than her and his rumored homosexuality. Poppaea married him to get closer to her grand prize, Nero. The emperor was infatuated with Poppaea, and the two would become lovers. Nero's mom, Agrippina, who was acting as his advisor, did not like Poppaea and knew of her true intentions. She warned Nero to stay away from her, but Nero was sprung. Poppaea would tease Nero, calling him a mama's boy. Nero, egged on by Poppaea, tried to kill his mom on several occasions. First with a bed that had a collapsible canopy, but the Fred Flintstone method failed. Second was a boat that was designed to sink, but she was saved by her fans, who dragged her out of the water. And after several attempts to poison her, also failed. Nero just decided to send some hitmen to her home and whack her. Around this time, Otho was sent to the province of Lusitania, in modern-day Portugal, by Nero, who ordered him to divorce Poppaea in 59 AD. After the death of Agrippina, Nero and Poppaea would marry in 62 AD, after Nero would divorce his first wife, Octavia, after claiming she was barren, while carrying on an affair with Poppaea. The two got married 12 days after the divorce was finalized. Several months later, Poppaea gave birth to Nero's only child, a daughter named Claudia Augusta, on January 21, 63 AD. The child lived for a few months before dying. Nero made her a goddess and held games around Rome, while statues of her were placed in temples around the city. Poppaea, in the summer of 65 AD, became pregnant with her third child, and the second with Nero. She got into an argument with Nero about how he spent too much time at the chariot races and not enough time with her. Nero, in a drunken fit of rage, attacked Poppaea and jumped on her stomach. The vicious blow caused Poppaea to die, and when Nero calmed down and realized he accidentally killed his wife and bearer of his possible heir, went into a state of depression. He had Poppaea buried in an imperial tomb and was deified in a state funeral. After her death, Nero had her only living child, Rufius Crispinus, murdered during a fishing trip. Several months later, Nero married for a third time in 66 AD. His lucky bride was Statilia Messalina, the great-granddaughter of Roman general Titus Stylius Taurus I. She, like Nero's second wife, was a mistress to Nero and was married to a Roman senator named Marcus Julius Festinus Atticus, who was one of Nero's buddies until he realized he was a gluttonous fool. In order to marry Statilia, he ordered her husband, Atticus to kill himself, who did so during a party he was hosting while receiving the orders to do so. Nero grew tired of his marriage to Statilia, and in 67 AD married a slave boy named Sporus. He fell in love with him because he reminded him of his dead wife Poppaea. After the marriage, Nero had him castrated in order to preserve his beauty. Sporus and Nero traveled to the province of Greece, where he posed as his dead wife Poppaea in public and only answered to empress, lady, or mistress. The two remained together until Nero's death on June 9th, 68 AD.